Computer. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the newest episode of the Theater Enthusiast Podcast. I'm so happy to have this person on. I feel like it's been a long time coming, first
Been
off.
a long time listener, first time caller here.
Yes.
Yeah, to the
And
pod.
just like I, I adore you so much.
I love you. I love
And
you.
it just like we'll make out later. It's fine. Even though we're in like
Or
different areas of
during
the city.
a
That's
virtual.
true. That's true. First
Give me
virtual
hunger.
makeout on this podcast. Anyway, my guest is currently starring in the off-Broadway production of, shall we sing it? Masquerade.
Malted.
You sing
Beautiful.
much
Right
better
in
than I do.
harmony. There it is.
See, that's why you're in the show. Anyway, please welcome Matthew Curiano. Hey,
Curiano, molto
hey,
bene.
hey. So let's start off with tell me about the nudes.
The new
I
I
told
said
you.
she was she said, "Is there anything you want to talk about?" I said, "I want to talk about the nudes. The nudes.
And then I
They're
said that
everywhere.
they're
The
everywhere.
feet pics everywhere, everywhere." And I'm
Do you know
sorry
what
about
you
it.
do you, I didn't even look up your foot rating. Do you know what it is?
No, my God, I'm nervous because not for nothing. I'm glad we're talking about this first.
Yeah,
I'm a
it's
hairy
important.
guy. I have hairy feet. You know what I mean? And that was, I don't want to get emotional already, but that was really challenging for me growing up. But thank God for Lord of the Rings. It kind of brought hairy feet to the forefront, to mainstream in a way that was both beautiful and I think they made fun of them. So I'm not really sure where we stand on it. But at
Yeah.
this point, I'm just gonna appreciate them for what they are.
Has anybody bought you Hobbit feet slippers as a joke for
No, I
any
think because
holiday?
I'm always wearing
Hobbit.
Hobbit
Yeah.
feet slippers.
I always
Yeah.
say like my feet aren't that bad, but like I jokingly say I have Hobbit feet. But yeah.
You
Anyway,
know, a hairy knuckle is just incredible.
yeah.
I think we keep them
Yeah. So
always.
listen, some people are really into a hairy knuckle.
Yeah. You know what? If you're out there with a hairy toe knuckle, write
Hmm.
in and let us know.
Yeah. Reach out
Just know that
to
we're thinking about
Theater
you.
Enthusiast Podcast on Instagram. Just send us a DM. Send Maddie one.
And we'll rate those feet. We'll
Yes,
rate
we
them.
will. What next time Matt comes on, we will. Oh my God, can we do a part two? Because I feel
Come
like
on.
we're
Come
just gonna
on.
end up talking this entire episode and
This
like not even
entire
talk about you.
and we're just gonna talk about feet. That's
We're
it.
just
And
gonna,
honestly, but what if we was a segment where we just rated the feet?
you
Come
know what we
on.
could? The Theater Enthusiast Podcast. Well, you know what? I think you and Brandon should come on together,
I
and
know we
which
need
we've been
to.
talking about, but I think there should be like every few months a segment of Rate My Feet, which will
And
has
we
like
see where we're
nothing,
at.
and it has nothing to do with any of our content, but
No.
I think it's just like a fun little side gig that we do.
And we'll see if tastes change because they often do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who knows what, like in 6 months, what the top foot will be. You
Yeah,
know, so that keeps it interesting.
and then like I feel like on the spot we can create a monologue about the foot, or we can do like an impromptu song. Like have to bring it back to theater somehow.
Oh God. What was that movie, My Left Foot? That
Yeah.
yeah,
And
we
then
can
I
just go
think,
right back to that.
and it just reminds me of like a cutaway they did on Family Guy of Stewie going, "My left foot."
Here we are. Here
Here
we
we are.
are.
Here we are, Theater Enthusiast Podcast.
Theater
Anyway, so
enthusiast.
I always start with, where are you from?
Where am I from? I'm from a place, say it with me, everyone. Schenectady, New
Schenectady.
York. Spell it, spell it. Home of the New York Lotto. Perhaps you know
Yeah.
of it. Perhaps you
Yeah.
heard of GE. Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
And perhaps you've heard of Schenectady and Grace's mom from Will and Grace. She's from Schenectady.
Yeah.
And Matt Curiano. That's about it. That's
Matthew
about all you need to
Curiano.
know. Curiano. Eh sì, di
Yeah.
Schenectady.
That's what
Molto
you're.
bene.
So when people Wikipedia Schenectady, you're going to be
Yes.
on the list of famous people from there.
That'll be sad. That'll be
Well, listen, I've
sad.
actually have Googled my hometown before and Wikipedia, and there's like a list of famous people. Like
Where's your hometown? Where are you?
I'm from Long Island, Wantagh, New York. So somebody who
Wantua.
was on Survivor was
I
from my
love it.
hometown.
Wait,
One of
is
the
Wantua, is that 516 or 631? Is that Nassau or
516,
Suffolk? Oh,
516
five one six.
the gateway
Okay,
to Jones
nice.
Beach.
Oh,
So like if
see,
you go
okay,
to
so
yeah,
yeah,
if
my
you go
dad's
to a
from Glen
concert,
Cove.
yeah. So if you go to a concert in Jones Beach, it says Wanto, New York, but it's not a beach town. Um, but funnily enough, one of the original Billies and Billy Elliot is also from my hometown.
No way.
Yeah,
One of
and
the
I was
three.
friends with
One
one
third of a
third of the
Tony.
Billies, of the Tony winning Billies, and I was actually friends with his sister in high school, but that's an off podcast story, sweetheart.
Okay. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Thank you, Andrew Scott Cup.
You're welcome. Yes, as I am drinking out of my hot priest mug that says Neil on the back. People who are longtime listeners are aware of my mug because Matt's
My
beforehand.
still my favorite television show
Yeah,
is Fleabag, and my favorite episode of television is season two, episode one, when they're at the dinner and you meet Andrew Scott, and it's like it is I think I've watched that show probably now 10 times, and I've watched an episode at least like 20 times.
yeah.
It's my favorite.
I don't remember if I bought it or if my friend got me like the script that she like made into a book of Fleabag.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
somewhere buried in my apartment.
Me and my friend, they recorded her one woman show that it was based
Mhm.
on,
I
and
saw it too at that
I saw it. I
National
loved
Theater.
it. It was
Did
so
you
cool.
did you see his Vanya?
No.
Okay, next time take a night off of Masquerade. If they are doing it one of the nights of if they ever show it again, National Theater Live, there's a moment where he's playing Michael talking to I think Elena. I've seen it so many times, and he's like, "Take me." And I was like, "Yes, I will." Because they're so smart of how they did it because it just like is right on his face.
Oh,
And it's just like,
uh,
why
uh.
is he not straight? But good for you, you guys have him.
Andrew, if you're out there, just saying hello.
Hey,
Andrew, Andrew,
and
hi.
hey, Andrew
Hi.
Scott, come on the pod.
Scott. One
So
of us.
anyway,
One of us.
from Schenectady, what got you interested in performing?
My God. Well, I was what you call a homosexual in a small town. What
Mm,
one of those. And I was always, it's so funny. My parents were always like into the arts. That
mm,
my dad was a dentist and my mom was a nurse, so they were not like
yeah,
doing it, but they took me to see stuff. And in this, town of Schenectady, there was like just a ton of like community theater and stuff like that. And I freaking loved it. And like, I don't know about you, but like there was even like just like those people that were like your community theater like legends. You know what I mean? Like or whatever. And they were iconic for better or worse in every way. Even if they were bad, they were iconic. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I was always loved that. And I always just like I have one other sister, but we also have a lot of cousins, and we used to just like I used to write and make plays in the basement. We did some incredible works down there, a retelling of Harry Potter that I really think we predicted some of the most incredible things that were to happen in that those books. A lot of horror movies, a lot of
Okay.
horror inspired themes. And the budgets were immaculate. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? It
yeah.
was absolutely out of this world. But that's like where I got that creative bug. And then I remember like seeing when I would see theater, I would get like so emotional, but I wouldn't understand why. Like they would really affect me, and I would be thinking about like even just like I remember being like in second grade and seeing like the fifth grade play and being like, wow, ah, the way Amber Van Natten
Yeah.
crushed Miss Hannigan and Annie. Like, you know what I mean? It was just like that kind of stuff. So then I just always wanted to do it. And so yeah, I just started going. And it was just really through my school. And
Mhm.
we didn't do musicals only in the summer. We did musicals. There was no teacher really wanted to do the musicals in school. Like, who would want to? Honestly, can we take a moment for teachers in both
We don't
elementary?
I don't like talking about my high school drama experience because I call my high school drama teacher, who I found out a couple of years ago no longer teaches high school drama. I called her the spawn of Satan
Oh my God. What
because
was her name? Where is she now?
she's still at the school. Her name is not even worth the mention on this podcast. She teaches English. She was single, married, divorced, now married to another teacher.
Oh,
And just like for some reason never liked me. And I think a lot of
oh my
people
God.
like had a lot of falsehoods about me like saying or doing or whatever. Like, you know how they always had like rate my teacher?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think people thought I wrote about her, but I never did. I only wrote about like one teacher, and it wasn't
My
her.
God.
But no, I just like never shoved my head far enough her ass to get anything.
Yeah.
And like all the people who did just like were not not to be like I'm the most talented, but like just wasn't.
What was your one? Like, did you have a role or something that you're like, that should have been mine? And it went
I'm
to
just
Jessica
being
Berman.
No, I just should have been put in the musicals and I never made a musical because in high school it's not everybody makes the musical. And I should have been cast at least in something and I never was. And then
Oh
I
man,
went
we
up
were
to
in
her.
two different
Mhm.
programs,
Yeah.
honey, two different
Yeah.
programs.
And then I went up to her because I was like, there has to be a reason why. And I said, can I just ask why I've never made the musicals? She goes, when you're in college, maybe you should take an audition class. Mhm.
What's her name? Let's go key her car right
I
now.
think her name now is Naughton. Doesn't matter.
Honey,
This was like how many years ago? I'm still not over it.
I'm still not over it. Scarred. Scarred.
Scarred,
This teacher's
scarred.
be scarred.
But no,
Scarred.
but when I think about how terrible she was to me, I just like to remember she doesn't teach high school musical, she doesn't teach drama anymore. And it just, I know it's really mean, but it fills my soul with joy.
She not be teaching nothing now. She be teaching nothing. Nothing.
She teach in English. That's what she'd be teaching.
Yeah. It's also like, come on. What a power trip. My
I know
God.
it's also like fucking high school. And I remember like she graded me on something for like a public speaking class, and I wasn't even in class that day. And I was like, I wasn't here. And she goes, but I have a grade for you. But I was like, I wasn't here that day.
All right. All right, Miss High Horse. Get
Mm.
her off.
Yeah.
Get her off the damn high horse.
Yeah.
Oh, sucks. I hate teachers like that. I
Yeah.
was lucky. Like my teachers, the drama teachers, Mr. Dignam, he was, honey, they were, I went to school, like, I think we were like, in high school, it was like maybe 500 of us. They were begging people. They were begging people to be in the drama club. They were like, come
Yeah.
on, don't you want to do? And we were due. It was so funny. We didn't like buy the rights to anything. So we never did like a musical. So what we would do often is we do plays, but a lot of times what were the big hits is that we would do them in the cafeteria. It would be like a seated dinner. You'd get like a turkey leg, which is hilarious. Miss McCluskey, love you, girl, if you're out there, be cooking for 7,500 people, whatever the heck. And we would do scenes from movies. We do like My Cousin Vinny.
Oh
We
my
do
God.
like
Were
The
you,
Honeymooners.
please tell me you're the Marissa Tomei character.
Oh my God, I wish my sister was Marissa Tomei. That was a big deal. That was the big deal. And you know the scene.
I
We did the Honeymooners. We did like the Andy Griffith show. So it was just like scenes from, from iconic and that was like the big hit. Of course, all the parents freaking loved it because it was like, you know what I mean? Like that's all their stuff. Like I remember we had oh, what was his name? I think his name was Sergio, and he was an exchange student from, was it Colombia? And he played Ricky Ricardo in like that. And it was like people lost their freaking minds because he was so good. And then he like would sputter off in Spanish and everyone was just like, yeah, he was a celebrity. Celebrity.
Where is
But
he now? Is he back in
I
Colombia?
don't know. Sergio, if you're out there, I miss
Sergio,
you.
if you're out there, please call in.
He call in right
Call in.
now.
Call in
Um,
Theater Enthusiast Podcast.
let me tell you,
We're
at
taking
at at
calls.
at 16, he was a ladies' man. He was
I
doing great.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Straight
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
doing theater.
Please, please.
I mean, so
Love him.
so we kind of crossed paths, but didn't because and I say this because like I knew of you, but we
Yeah.
didn't know each other because you went into Pace after I graduated, I believe.
Graduated. I know,
Yeah.
which is
And
so
did
sad.
you enter as a freshman or did you transfer? I know we talked about it, but I don't remember.
Yeah, my Long Island sis, I went to Stony Brook
Oh my
for
God, you went to
two
Stony Brook?
years. Stony
Oh,
Brook. I went to Stony Brook,
you went to
631 out in
Stony.
Suffolk County. Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful Stony Brook.
You know what's so funny? People are like, "Where are you from?" I said Long Island. They're like, "Are you?" Because I've gotten Midwest before, but sometimes
Um,
a New Yorker or someone from Long Island be like, "No, you have the Long Island in there."
It's so funny. Yeah, it's like it comes out like my parents were both from there, and my dad, like you wouldn't hear it normally, but then it's just like, when he's
Yeah.
pissed off, one,
Mhm.
and two, if it's like, the four,
Yeah.
coffee, water,
Yeah.
just like a little bit, it just comes
Yeah.
out.
Sometimes like I'll
Never
catch
leaves you.
myself and I'll be like, that sounded like really Jewy Long Island.
Hey, listen, it's iconic. It's
Thank
iconic,
you.
and we love it.
Yeah.
And I went to school out there. That's where I went to Stony Brook, and for 2 years, and I was like doing like I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna do. I was going to like school for like psychology. I was maybe gonna get my MBA, and then I always wanted to do theater, but my parents were like, I remember telling my mom, like, Mom, I want to be an actor. She's like, You want to be a waiter? I was like, No, and I said an actor. I want to be an actor. She's like, Oh, a waiter. Yeah, you want to be a waiter. So it was like which is funny because they were so supportive. They loved the arts, but they were like, This is a nice hobby. So I was like, All right, all right. And I was I think a lot of theater kids are good students usually because we're trying to just do it. So I was good. I was a good student. So I was like, Oh, okay. I'll go. I'll go to state school and figure out what I want to do. But then, while I was there was this teacher, Marie Danvers. Shout out Marie.
Hey,
And she
Marie.
was teaching like a musical theater class down in the basement of the music building, like in the basement. And it was like kind of this like ragtag little group. And she was like a dramaturg. She's getting her master's in dramaturgy and she's been a performer. She was a Christine on Broadway and Phantom, and so yeah. So we took that class, and then she was like, talk about a good teacher. Just as there's the bad ones that can scar you, there's those good ones. And she was like, she took me aside in class. She was like, if you really wanted to do this, I think you could. I think you could do it. So I was like, oh, that's all I needed to hear. So then I was like, I'm gonna transfer schools, and then I auditioned. I think I auditioned for 4 different schools. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I brought 16 bars to my audition for Pace University, singing "Why God Why," and I only sang the bridge because I was like, oh, I can't sing the end. That's like 18 bars. So I only brought the 16. I didn't bring the whole song. I remember at the audition, I like finished at the bridge, which doesn't really end, it doesn't conclude. And they were like, Do you have the end of the song? And I was like, No, I have the 16 bars. And they were like, Okay. And then I
And you
remember
got in.
Rob Met, the music director, was like, I think I could, just play around. And they played I Sang the End. And then I got waitlisted and I was like, oh well, that was a nice idea. And then randomly one day I got an email and I got in. The
Yeah.
rest is history, and that's why I'm sitting here talking to your beautiful virtual face right now
Look at
with this
you.
incredible new hair color.
Thank
That's
you. Well, I
absolutely
mean, I just
iconic.
got the roots done. I needed it because girls getting older and the grays are coming in. So
Honey, the roots, I didn't see no roots. Only
thank you.
only
Well,
in,
it's
in
because
crack.
they're just done now. That's why they were gray. No, so that's so fun because I auditioned for, I got into Pace and I didn't tell my parents until I was in like, I want to do theater. And then of course they were like, you need a backup and blah, blah, blah. But I actually auditioned for musical theater and I didn't get into the program, but I got into the theater program.
Fuck them. Fuck them. Biggest
It's
mistake.
whatever.
Eh.
It's fine. I took the acting for the musical stage class. I was fine.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
That's my God.
found out I could belt. Who knew that?
Listen, all these girls, that's all I remember about theater school is these girls would come in with like these beautiful soprano voices, and then all of a sudden they would just turn. It'd be like overnight and they'd be belting their faces off.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the men will be cracking on an E flat,
Mhm.
just trying to make it
Yeah. I
work.
think my first introduction to you was like hearing about you getting cast in Floyd Collins.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah. So,
The
okay,
theater news.
the theaters. Anyway, so Pace is over. You do Showcase. What did you do for Showcase? I'm curious.
Oh my God. I think I still have PTSD from that.
We don't have to talk
Pre-showcase is the
Showcase.
most showcase is the most stressful thing I think for, you know what I mean? Or it doesn't have to be, but you're like, it's like, all right, who are you
Oh,
in
honey,
90 seconds?
we don't have enough time to talk about the shit show that was my graduating class's Showcase. And I feel like people are not here to hear the trauma that was my senior in college because I've talked about it before. But pretty much to give you like the abridged version of it, the acting class was divided because of the people being assholes. and caused so much drama that the professor who was in charge of like senior like business of acting and showcase quit mid second semester. They had to bring another person in who did shit. So it was like three theater people who were like a stage manager and two like tech people pretty much in charge of all of our senior showcase.
Oh my
Yeah. So
God.
it
What did
was,
you end up doing?
I did a monologue from, oh my God, Epic Proportions. And then I did a scene from Reasons to Be Happy, but it wasn't the monologue where she's like, I'm engaged. It's the monologue where they run into each other, or the scene where they run into a restaurant. And I had the worst fucking scene partner. And I like, because half of the acting graduating senior acting class hated me for whatever reason, which again we won't get into, but I got stuck with the worst, and like everybody knew, and I got stuck with
Jesus.
the worst person to do a
Ugh,
scene with.
that's the tricky thing with like scenes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it's like as good as you are, like it's a scene. It's a
Hmm.
two-hander. Just the two of you out
Yeah.
there on stage. Oh my
Yeah.
God. And where are they now?
I don't know. I think they're a dentist, to be honest.
Oh,
I don't even know if they have Facebook anymore.
maybe we
They
should get
were
some work
very
done for them.
lovely, but just like not the strongest person to do a scene with.
Fair. Fair. And
So
now they're a dentist. They got it. They figured it
now
out.
they're a dentist.
Test. Perfect.
Wow, so much trauma is coming out of this like
Yeah, I know, right? I'm sweating already.
yeah, no, I
I
always
think
tell people I don't like talking about my senior year of college because I get very like angered. So,
yeah. I think senior year is like such an interesting thing because you're like you want to get out, but I think for me, maybe because I transferred, I was like, oh shit. I don't know if I want to
yeah.
get out there and do the whole thing. Like, there's also something about like going to school in New York City. Like, for a
Mm,
lot of people who, are in a program and then they move to New York, there's like that super excitement after you graduate of like,
yeah.
I'm here, NYC. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But for us, we've been here. So there's no like, we're just like, all right, guess
Yeah.
I'm done with all the structure that I had in my life. Got to
Yeah.
figure out what to do next. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's
Did you
crazy.
audition for anything while you were in at Pace?
I think I auditioned for Jersey Boys a few times, which was always so fun and funny. Hey Mary Sugarman. And then I remember auditioning for, oh God, the Engelman Theater, which is out in Long Island. This is
Mm-hmm.
all just about Long Island, this whole thing.
Yeah,
And
the whole podcast.
getting like my first call back for like Guys and Dolls and was like, oh my God. But it was for like the ensemble and like crazy dancing. And I was like, I don't wanna be here in this crazy dance call. Can I just be funny and do something else? But yeah, but it's cute because every time I go in for the Engelman, I always tell them I was like, my first ever callback was for this, for right here, right for this theater, and they
And
always go,
so
"Thank you," and you can leave now.
like it wasn't meant to be. Why
It
don't you
wasn't
like
meant to
take
be, and
over the
it isn't
theater?
today. Get out.
Get out. Just be in Masquerade. It's fine.
That'd be a masquerade. Yeah.
Masquerade. So do you
Oh,
remember? Oh, go ahead.
I never told you what my showcase. I sang
Oh,
for showcase. I sang Gliding from
okay.
Ragtime. So nothing like a 22-year-old playing, somebody who's usually in
Listen,
their
like I told
late
you, we
30s,
are
40s.
manifesting you for Tate for Ragtime. Listen, I
Uh,
manifested that motherfucking production at Lincoln Center. Anybody
ate
who
that.
knows, do you did I not tell you how Ragtime is happening because of me? On this podcast, I have said for many years, my dream is to have a production of Ragtime at Lincoln Center Theater with Joshua Henry and Brandon Uranowitz.
Wow.
And
Wow,
like a
you really
different
ate
director
that.
and like other people. But then like it happened at City Center and I was like, all right, it's not
It's
Lincoln
coming.
Center, but it's
Oh,
Brandon and it's Joshua Henry. And then they announced it at Lincoln Center.
wow.
And the day they announced it, I started crying.
Oh.
And I renewed my membership just to get a ticket. And the theater
Oh.
gods were looking out for me. So I went first night of previews. I was front row,
Oh.
center orchestra, 1 seat away from dead center.
They were running right at you in that opening. They were running
Oh,
right towards you.
my jaw was like, I was agape. I wanted to live in that opening number. So that's why I say we
Yeah.
manifest things on this podcast because I've had another person on who said like they wanted to do Shakespeare in the Park and I said, "Do it." And they said, "I think it's too late." And then I shit you not, like around the same time I released their podcast a year later, they were announced to be one of the cast members of the production of Hamlet that they did Shakespeare in the
Oh
Park.
my God.
So
Wow.
we
So are
manifest.
you collecting 10% or what?
I should.
Come on. Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I already did a tour of Ragtime in
Yes, the non-actor.
2000, the non-act tour, 2016. Oh, 2015, 2015, 2016. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2015 to 2016. I do my research.
Yeah, oh my
And
God. She's in here. She's out here
yeah,
doing the research.
I do. I do a lot of research. I write everything down because that's also how I remember what I to talk to people about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I mean, I know you already played the part, but like you're older and wiser now, and I just think like the world needs to see you play that part again sometime in the future.
Oh, I love that show. I loved this revival. I also think like I saw it at City Center and I was like, okay, like I know what this is. I'm not gonna cry. Immediately,
Yeah.
as soon as like I thought that opening with just like a young Colehouse running out with the little boy and then an Edgar like sitting him down and telling him in 1902, Father built a house. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh, so he's gonna tell this is like all for him. He's telling him the story of like his parent. And I was like, oh, and I immediately started weeping. And then I continued to weep the entire time because also it was so nostalgic for me. And like as I'm watching, I'll be like, I'll never forget in Topeka, Kansas, when our bus broke down and we had to wait for hours at the gas station and then drove into the theater and then did the show right there. Like just like I don't know. I just yeah. The especially on tours and I think especially on a non-equity tour where everyone is just like a lot of people that's maybe one of their first big jobs or one of their first big jobs so everyone's so freaking excited to
Hmm.
be there and to do that kind of show and that kind of work and that was literally funny enough or I don't know not funny enough but like that was right while the campaigns were happening so Trump was like campaigning and we were like there were like 3 or 4 times that we were performing at theaters where he had just campaigned. It was so weird. So like on the marquee would be like Trump and Ragtime. And
Which
like
is
yeah,
so interesting too, because I mean, you don't think of it, but then you think of it and how timely it is. And I saw the City Center production like right after the election when he won again. And I had Colin Donnell on the podcast a few months ago. And I don't remember specifically what he said, but I usually don't talk politics on the podcast. But I was like,
yeah.
what up? What happened there?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And Tiffany Mann,
Crazy.
I also had on too, because she was in the City Center
Oh,
production of Ragtime. So
oh
it
baby.
was, yeah, I could only imagine because, you know, what's going on in the world and the story itself. And just, I love Ragtime so much.
I love it so much. And I think it's such a my God, that the music, obviously, that script is so good
Yeah.
and the that you're able to there's so many characters and so many people in that like
Hmm.
show and you care about them all and
Yeah.
it's so beautifully written and that language is so beautiful. I love those scenes. I love all those scenes. It's so
Yeah.
great. It's so great. I'm so glad it's getting its like because the we did the tour at the Marshall Milgram Dodge production, like it was the same production, and that was such a cool production, and it didn't get the life that it deserved. You know what I mean? But I'm so
Yeah.
glad that Ragtime is still like it. I mean it. Even when we did it on tour back then, it wasn't like it was a very like financially risky
Hmm.
show to do and to
Yeah.
take across America. You know what I mean? And it's just really cool to see it like be so not just artistically successful, but financially successful in this most recent
Yeah.
production. It's just
Yeah.
freaking cool. Freaking cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for manifesting it.
Of course, we can keep, and I even told Brandon Uranowitz because I was waiting for our mutual friend Brandon after Titanic at City Center, and I like saw him, and I was like, I hope you know I manifested Ragtime for you.
You
He's like,
said that was me.
yeah. Well, no, he's like, thank you for manifesting it. I was like, because I've been a fan of yours since An American in Paris. So yeah,
Oh my God. I
yeah,
love him. He's so great. He's so great in that role.
yeah,
Like, and Joshua Henry, I'm just glad he got his flowers. He deserved it. And Casey
yeah.
Levy as well.
My
So
friend
cool.
texted me after he won the Tony, and she's like, he didn't thank you, but we all know.
It was cut for time, but I
It was
knew he
cut
was
for
about
time. It's
to,
fine.
and
He
the
has no
music cut
idea
right
who
in.
I am, but like it's all good. It's fine. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. So what happens like once you're done with Pace?
Oh my God, what
Aside from
happens?
the Ragtime tour.
I did what any normal kid does is has a freak out and you're like, what the heck do
Hmm.
I do? Also, like just like the structure of, 22 years of being in school and then you're not in school and you're like, what
Yeah,
the
it's
fuck am
wild.
I doing out
Hmm.
in the wild? Um, I remember Hurricane Sandy happened right after that. So I was looking for work and then the city shut down
Yeah.
in a crazy way. And then I started working at, say it with me, Ruby Tuesdays in Times Square
Oh my
on
God, remember
41st and
Ruby?
7th. Remember Ruby Tuesdays? Remember salad bars? Remember the ham that like wasn't really ham, but it was like cubed meat that was always a little frozen?
Remember
Yeah.
Sabaros? That doesn't exist anymore either.
All right. It's got to be at least in one mall in Iowa, at
I'm
least in the food
sure.
court
I'm
somewhere. Needs
sure.
to be.
What else
Yeah.
doesn't exist anymore? There's a lot. It's
There's
kind
a
of sad.
lot that doesn't
Remember the
exist.
Toys R I had a woman yesterday at work being like, "Oh yeah, last time I was here, they're like the Toys R Us," and I was like, "That's been closed for many years."
For many years with the
Yeah.
Ferris wheel. Remember that
Mhm.
place? Yeah,
Yeah.
I worked at two different in like that 8 months or whatever. I worked at two different restaurants. I worked at Ruby Tuesdays in Times Square, and I worked at the Jekyll and Hyde Club that was also in Times Square on 44th Street. Yeah.
Wow.
Um, which was the worst job I ever worked at in my entire life.
Well, somebody I went to college with actually worked at Jekyll and Hyde, I think at the one downtown, and that's how they got their equity card.
Yeah, yeah, back in the day used to, and I remembered, so this one, I was a waiter there, but they were like they had just equity had said no, no more. Like even though there was a full Frankenstein
Hmm.
coming out of I think a
Yeah.
show that would happen like every 35 minutes. But my God, I kind of yeah, after graduating, I kind of had that like, oh God, here we go. Like just auditioning, going to open calls and just working my butt off. And it was hard and like weird. And then I booked my first like summer stock out of school, which was Woodstock Playhouse doing Les Mis,
Hmm.
Fiddler on the Roof, and The Who's Tommy. And it was in Woodstock, New York. It's still there. Hey, Randy and
So
Doug.
shout
And
out.
shout out. And I freaking, that was one of my favorite places I ever, like sometimes, I don't know, those like, just like the experience sometimes like those theaters that are just like you're just young and you're just out in the woods and you're just having fun and it's like hard and like but you're just those experiences are some of my favorite theater experiences ever. And you're just like putting together a production. You're rehearsing for one thing during the day, doing a
Yeah.
different show at night, just trying to memorize stuff and get it out and get it done. You're all building the set together. Like it was wild, but I just had the most fun. And I was played Thenardier in Les Mis, and I was like, oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
my shit. That's
Yeah.
my shit. It was so great.
That's
So
much.
great.
That's much.
That's my
Sorry.
sh
Some
sorry. Bleep it out.
Sorry. Couldn't help it. That's no, we can cuss on here. I don't give a shit. Oh, I was starting
Oh,
to sing some Gwen Stefani. That's why. Nothing against
Gwen's.
her. Let's see. Well, because you also, I have written down, you also did the national tour of Camelot.
Yeah. So okay. So I did.
I'm
What did
very
I
out of
do?
order of like your timeline of everything you've done. But,
Such a weird timeline.
yeah, well, I
Yeah.
don't know where I could find one, but well, no,
So
I
I
knew
did.
about Tate in like
Yeah.
2015, 2016. Do have Les Mis as Thenardier. You were
Yeah.
Rooster and Annie.
Oh
We
yeah.
will talk about Nine because when I was merching not too
Oh,
long ago, you were like, "Yeah, I'm leaving to do Nine. No big deal." And
who
then
does nine?
who does Nine? Not as many people as they should.
As I should. Oh my God, I
Mhm.
loved it. Yeah, so I yeah, after Woodstock Playhouse, then I I did Fiddler on the Roof out in Virginia Rep. I did a lot of fiddlers back in my day. And then I worked out in Kentucky at Jenny Wiley Theater in the middle of freaking nowhere, doing some South Pacific. And there I auditioned. I remember like sending in a tape for the national tour of Camelot, and it was like I was like, what is a self tape? I don't I think I found it the other day. It was like unheard of. Like I was just
I
in
feel
my
like this
living
is how
room.
old we are when we're like, That was the beginning of times when self-tapes were a thing. And
When they
when
just started.
back in my day when we were in college and this happened and duh, 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 duh.
Yep. Back in my day, yes, that Moses had just come down with the tablets and
Yeah.
the Ten Commandments, and I was out there doing a self-tape. But yeah,
Can
I
you
like
please do a Homo sapien experience of that? Thank you.
I think I will. I think we love biblical now. We've been really doing a lot of biblical
Oh, by
like
the way, the couples therapy between,
yeah.
and
Mary
I
and
know,
Joseph and then Judas and
yeah. I
Jesus.
mean,
Yeah.
we will talk more about the Homo sapien experience, but like, I know every time I see you, I always mention the gays of the Gilded Age, but I will sometimes go back and watch it, and it just fills me with so much joy.
Oh, it's the best. And I love we're so excited for season 4 coming out so soon. And we
Yeah.
just got to meet some of the cast.
Oh,
And we love Danae Benton, Jordan Donaco, like love, 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 love,
yeah.
love, love.
Yeah.
And we can't wait to make more content about the Gilded Age. And Morgan Spector, Train Daddy, if you're out there, can I just please play your younger gay brother, please?
Or
Please?
just your lover.
Or just your lover?
Yeah.
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 Come on. In between
Bertha,
him
has
and
got to
Carrie
know.
Coon, just get me in
Just be the
between the two of them.
sandwich. Yeah.
I want to be the sandwich. Or Carrie
Me.
can be the sandwich in between two hairy men. That's fine
Yeah.
too.
I'm sure honestly, get you Carrie Coon. I'm sure she'd love it.
She's the new Angela Bassett thing. So
Exactly. And I'm sure Tracy Letts would be like, let me write something about it and then just have
let me
like
write.
really, let me just have some like really weird family dynamics
I
happen in
I was gonna
this.
say really weird and probably nudity at the end, and it'll
Yeah.
just and
It,
that's the
it,
way to do it.
I feel like that makes sense.
Oh God, it makes so much sense. So much sense. But yeah, so I did a self-tape for Camelot, and it was full the widest shot you've ever seen of
Mhm.
me just in my living room doing like a freaking Merlin impression, like at 22 years old, because I knew my type. And I got it, and it was so much fun. I'd never been on tour. I'd never seen like the country like that. It was me and one other gay guy and all straight dudes, and
Mm.
all like buff straight dudes. And that was so much fun. And never have I ever been in a more gay dressing room. So much butt slapping, so much like straight men are so funny in theater because also I think a lot of them are usually the token like straight guy often, right? And it's usually the opposite dynamic with, a bunch of gays. But so to see them interact in the wild and together was so funny. And they would like kind of lean on us, you know what I mean? In a way of like telling us like, Brian wants to be the guy. You'd be like, okay, but what do you mean? Like, what do you mean he wants to be? He wants to be the guy, the guy who makes all the funny jokes. Like but he's not the guy. He's not the. And I was be like, you're so right, babe. Let me throw some water on this mud pit, and you guys can wrestle it out. It'd be great. It'd be
And I'll
perfect.
watch.
And I'll watch.
Yes.
I'll watch.
And I'll
So, but yeah, it was so much fun, and going on a tour of the country and just being like, okay, Fayetteville, Arkansas, I love you. You know what I mean? Opelika, Alabama. Never thought I'd be there. Don't need to go back, but glad
yeah,
I
well,
went. You
Alabama.
know.
So
Alabama.
no, nothing against Alabama. My mom loves the movie Sweet Home
Never.
Alabama. And that's a
There
great
you
song.
go. Reese, we love you, Reese.
Yeah.
You got a baby in a bar? You brought a baby in a bar.
Turn
Sweet Home
that
Alabama.
into a musical. I'm sure they will at some point. So I'm just going to go through. You also did something rotten as Notre Dame, which I feel is correct.
Uh, yeah, and forever playing up. I can't wait till I'm 50. I'm gonna
Yeah.
play.
Listen, when I was in college, somebody said I'm not going to get cast till I'm older, which is really like fun
Oh,
for like a 20 something to hear.
same. That's all I heard. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Which I'm like, all right, well, I guess we're getting older, so
I
I
don't
guess.
know. Again, I had to get the grave covered today.
Hi, I'm
Yeah.
letting you know where the grays are in my chest hair. I have so many grays in my chest hair. So,
You know
do I
what?
get that dyed? Do people
You
dye their chest
honestly,
hair? Hey,
probably.
listeners, call in if you've gotten your chest
Yeah.
hair dyed.
Just
And where do
DM
I
the
go?
Theater Enthusiast Podcast. We will also include it in the episode about the feet, and we'll just talk
And
about
just let us
it.
know.
It'll be like
Let
a
us know.
really off-topic episode,
Perfect.
and it's going
It'll
to
be
be great.
health and wellness and
Yes,
entrepreneurship.
exactly, exactly. So I'm Let's talk about you doing nine because I feel like that was
Hmm.
the most recent that you've done aside for like before you went into Masquerade and also because when we like officially met slash kind of reconnected, like you were like, "Oh, I'm here. Peace out. I'm leaving to go do nine."
Yeah. Shout out to Short North Stage in Columbus, Ohio. I freaking love them. It's just such a great theater. Yeah, I just got an audition for it. I had never seen Nine. I just heard, honestly, I actually no, that's not true. I saw it at Schenectady Light Opera Companies. This is it all goes back to seeing it like when I was, I think, like 9 or 10 years old.
Hmm.
And my this awesome woman named Kate, who was like our choir director. I sang in the late night choir, like the
Hmm.
so we were like the folk group. We were like kind
Yeah.
of like the more modern. We had like guitars and piano. And she was the director, and um she played Louisa. Yeah. Um and singing an unusual way. And so yeah, I remember seeing it and being like, "Oh, interesting, cool." But like that was it. And then literally how many years later? Like third 20 20 26 years later, this kind of opportunity comes into my lap and it was so cool. Um to be in a show with a bunch of women, it's like a gay man's dream. Okay. Just that everyone was checking in on each other. And it was cool. There was like, I think like five of us maybe from out of town. And then the rest were like local, really freaking talented professional actors in the area. And like that was so cool because it was like the grand dames of
Yeah.
Columbus, Ohio. You know what I mean? They all knew each other and they
Hmm.
all worked at this theater. And this theater does Oh, I love Short North. I think they're just a great theater. They kind of like punch up above their weight class. They always have super ambitious goals and like they wanted to use a lot of projections with this, which was really freaking cool. And just like again, doing nine, like
Yeah.
I don't you don't hear it often being done, especially in regional theaters. It's I think
Yeah.
like a financial risk again. But the artistic director Edward, this was like one of his dream shows, so he wanted to do it, and so I
You
said,
made his dream come true, baby.
"Let's go, baby." I hope I made his dream come true. I had an absolute blast, and I really it was scared. It scared the shit out of me that role because that's just
Hmm.
like I'm used to being like the character actor that kind of, maybe 45 minutes in comes on in, like, dun, 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 and
Hmm.
then leaves and then comes back maybe again in the second act. And they're like, oh, right, that's that funny guy. And then leaves again and takes a bow. But this was like, I was on stage. I think I was off stage for like a minute and a half and that was
Yeah.
it. And so it was just like wild, wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you made your off-Broadway debut, is that correct?
I made my off-Broadway debut in
At
This
the
Is Not a Drill at the York Theater, honey. The York
Yeah.
Theater on
So,
the Upper East Side.
yes, because then you came back and then you're like, peace out, I'm leaving again. I'm doing this off-Broadway show of this new musical.
New musical that was based on this crazy thing that
Hmm.
happened in Hawaii
Hmm.
in 2018. It was right around when Trump and Kim Jong-un were fighting on Twitter, and they were talking about how like they who had a bigger button to detonate nuclear bombs. So, things were really cool in the country. Everyone was
Hmm.
really
Everything was
calm and
totally
chill,
fine.
totally fine. And then literally right like a week later, something happened where somebody pushed the wrong button and everybody in Hawaii got this notification on their phone about a ballistic missile threat and to take cover. And this is literally the words, this is not a drill. And so people for like 45 minutes lost their freaking minds thinking that like, oh, maybe this is North Korea. Are they going to bomb us like out in Hawaii? Like that makes sense. Running around. You couldn't like so many people were trying to call like to get help that the phone lines were like down and so people were just taking shelter and so um the woman who wrote it, Holly, was there on the island when this was happening, and so it's kind of like she took her experience and then added like kind of other characters that kind of are based on truthful things that happened throughout that moments and made a musical about it.
There
So
you go. Well, that's not English coming out of my mouth. I think we also
that
talked
was
about this. Um, Jim Carrey wrote a book, like his bio or his biography, and the he was in Hawaii when This Is Not a Drill text went out, and the photo. of his cover of his book is him like right after that text message.
That's right. I remember you telling me this.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's
Yeah.
it's and one of the women in the cast, her brother lives in Hawaii, and so she was talking about that day and how she couldn't get a hold of him the entire day and just how freaking scary it was and just
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's just a weird, wild moment that happened that just like is
Yeah.
just horrifying for those people. Yeah. So, but I played a big old gay in it and I got to wear a big sun hat and I had so much fun. Just like it was funny to go from like Guido and Nine, who's just kind of like the
Yeah.
epitome of like masculinity and
Community. Yeah.
sexuality and like you know what I mean? Just like
Yeah.
a straight dude. Well, who knows? But and then going that into just a flaming, flaming homosexual. So
Yeah.
back to my roots, you
You
know?
know, you know. But what was it like working on a new musical?
Yeah, I had done a reading of that in March and it moved really quickly, which sometimes I feel like is a rarity. Often you do a reading of like a 29-hour reading and they're like, all right, y'all, that was incredible. Like we're gonna try and like and you're like, okay, okay, like maybe in a year or two we'll
Yeah.
do another reading. But they at the end I remember Holly being like, yeah, I think we're gonna go to New York. Like literally, and I was like, oh, what? And she called me and like that was like a week later, and then yeah, by that September we were in. And a new musical, I really love doing this one because they were really open to me just going for it and just trying different things and being like, I don't think that line works. Can I try this or like this with the comedy of it all? Or like, I want to do this or what's a way to differentiate this gay couple too? And like,
Yeah.
how are they different? And I was really fun. It's really hard. You're working a lot and you're changing a lot and a lot of things, you know, the script is changing all the time and things like that. So, but I had a blast with that and I loved those people. I love them all so much.
Do you see this
So.
is not a drill having another life?
You know, they talked about it maybe being done in Hawaii, which I'm available whenever you want to
Totes
go.
avail.
Like,
Totes
please,
avail.
please. Totes avail. On my non-equity national tours, I've gone to all 48 continental states, but I have not done Alaska or Hawaii. So, and those are like two of the coolest ones.
I know.
So,
Well, you
anyway,
guys
to get me up there.
just like take a cruise, go to Alaska, and then go to Hawaii at some point in your life.
God, I know.
I know
Maybe
I
we can
say
just do
that, but
both.
like,
And you're Andrew Scott Mugg. You're not
yeah,
wrong. Like, just fucking go.
yeah.
Um,
What I always say, and people like to too. I'm like, with what money?
yeah. Um, but yeah, I wonder if there'll be a life like I would love to revisit those roles again if ever possible. But it was so fun and I loved the York Theater. It was cool to do like a
Mhm.
show on the Upper East Side and just like live at your apartment and do a show like that and a longer running show, you
Yeah.
know. And so, yeah,
Speaking of long-running things,
long running, honey.
you have made your off-Broadway triumphant
My
return.
my return, my immersive
Your
off-Broadway.
immersive off-Broadway return, and shall we sing it? Masquerade!
Masquerade. It's all coming to this. All those shows in the high school
Oh, wait.
cafeteria.
Can I like I think I have my masquerade mask somewhere. Hold on.
Oh my
Don't
God.
look at my apartment.
Oh my
Ah,
God, it's cute. Listeners, it's cute.
hold
She's
on. This
got
is
the
the
Eiffel
mask I
Tower up.
wore.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
gorge.
thank you.
Gorge.
And I think
Did you get that one yourself or did they give that one
no,
to
no, I
you?
got this one myself, but then I also
Yeah,
took a masquerade mask just in case
as
this
you
didn't
should.
work out well.
The
But and I
tickets are expensive. You should take all the
yeah.
things.
But I will say though, yes, I mean not to be like that person or like turn anybody off, but I saw it for free because of work.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
It is honestly one of the coolest theatrical experiences I've ever had.
Yeah.
And if and when I ever go back, I will be wearing an all black sneaker because I am not doing what I did last time and wear a heel.
Ladies, don't wear heels, ladies. Don't wear ladies, anybody in between, anybody who wears heels, I should say.
Yeah.
Don't wear heels to this one. Too many stairs.
Yeah.
Too many
Well, I mean, it
stairs.
wasn't a
And
stiletto.
standing.
They also say like don't wear a stiletto or a kitten heel. So I had like an inch clunk, but no, gonna wear a sneaker.
Yep. I love the see the ladies, they're being these like gorgeous gowns and then wear a sneaker. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Do that. Because it's you're moving. You're
Yeah.
up, you're moving, you're standing, you're
Hmm.
dancing,
Yeah.
you're out there. You're working hard. You're working
Yeah.
hard in this
Yeah.
show. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So how did Masquerade happen for you?
Oh my God, Masquerade was so funny. I think I auditioned, I think it was at the end 8 times. So much so, yeah. I never had that many like callbacks for a show.
Mhm.
So it lasted, the audition process lasted almost over a year. I think I started in July of 2025 and then eventually got cast in September of 2020. No, sorry, July of 2024 and then got cast in September of 2025. So yeah, over a year. Um, and in that year, it started with a self tape, then it started with like doing some sides, and then they would be like, okay, can you wait in the hall, like, and throwing a different character at me, and then maybe being like, okay, cool, can you like just like now say this monologue that we just gave you and like make eye contact with everybody, like, and this is like, Diane Paulus, like the Tony Award winning director that you're just like making eye contact with and like trying to like give, and they're like looking at you, with like kind of like really beautiful open intensity of like just like how people watch the show. And then, I then would hear anything for a couple weeks and they'd be like, okay, can you come back and do like a dance call? I was like, okay, just like kind of like a dance, like just like kind of a masquerade dancing. And they'd be like, okay, can you come back and do like an immersive acting class call? And it was so cool. I mean, not since Pace have I been like literally like rolling on the floor, walking
Mhm.
around, making shapes, like acting, doing
Mhm.
different types of characters. And then I wouldn't hear anything, and they'd be like, "Okay, can you come back? And now we have different characters for you. Can you read for Raoul? Can you read for the Barker? Can you read for Andre and Fierman? Can you read for Bouquet? Can you?" And it was just like all Piangi, all
Mhm.
of these different things. I was like, "When am I going to play Meg? I want to do
Yeah.
Meg too."
You should,
You know?
fuck, play Christine.
No, come on.
That's
And
fair.
then I did a 2-day workshop with them that was we were in Ripley Greer and it was like 8 of us with some microphones like kind of in front of us and they were kind of like timing out the different scenes and things like that. And it was like Hugh Panero was sitting right next to me, icon Broadway legend. Kaylee Voorhees was right there playing Christine. So, and there was and Mr. ALW came in on the second day and sat down and watched this like kind of presentation. And they were like just figuring out like I wasn't really sure exactly what they were doing. They were like having us read scenes and being like, okay, how long was that? Okay, like want to cut a little bit. Okay, do that again, trying different things. And next to Diane was this beautiful man named Simon who wasn't really speaking, but was on his laptop like kind of the whole time throughout the process. And after we did this little presentation for Andrew Lloyd Webber and some of the producers, Diane kind of was like, all right, what do you guys want to know? And so we were kind of asking different questions. And then at one point, Simon turns the laptop around and you see on his computer is just like the mapping out of all of these scenes and everything and where everything is going to go and the timing. And I was like, I think I read for Fearman in there in that one. And I was like, oh, it's interesting. The managers are at the beginning and the end of this whole thing. And then watching realize me like, oh my God, okay, because they're going to be in all 6 groups. So they're going to do the beginning, the beginning, the beginning, 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 and then do the end, the end, the end, the end, the end, the end. And I was like, wow, 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 wow. What is this? This is crazy.
Yeah.
Um, and then after that, I ended up not getting cast in the original, like the production. And then I was like, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Being an actor, you're like seven
After all that,
auditions
yeah.
after all that. And then while I was in This Is Not a Drill, my agent called me and was like, hey, they want to see you again. And at first I was like, I don't want Masquerade. I'm not going back in there. Like, blah, blah, blah. But I went, and that audition was at the actual building, which I was
Oh.
like, where am I? Not since the Jekyll and Hyde Club had I seen such an incredible. And we auditioned there, and then I found out like the next day that I got Andre, and so I was still doing This Is Not a Drill, so I was rehearsing during the day at Masquerade and doing This Is Not a Drill at night. So then kind of doing this double duty until for 2 weeks, and then I just really went one to the other. It was
Well, because
kind
you
of
also
crazy.
play Banquet. Am I saying it right?
Oh,
Banquet?
Bouquet. I played
Bouquet? Yeah.
Bouquet and then the Carnival Barker as well. And so
Yeah.
everybody plays, a lot of people play multiple parts. A lot of our, like, is it 2 or 3 right now of our, like, Madame Giris also play Carlotta, also can play Christine. Like,
Oh, wow.
that is wild. That
Yeah.
is about 70 years of age.
Yeah.
So I'm never not impressed by the amount of skill and talent and
Mhm.
also just the best human beings in that
Yeah.
building.
I
It's
mean,
insane.
I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen Masquerade, but I would love to at some point in our future lives get together and just like break down how
Yeah,
Masquerade works. Because again, for those listening to the podcast and they haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil anything. And I
right,
always say
right.
this too, because I got a little insight because when I saw you after we saw Masquerade, you had so many people coming up to you asking you how things worked
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
were giving
It's
them the detail of it. And I thought that was really interesting. And I was, again, I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but I
yeah,
will say that I did watch the Sunday morning special that they did of Masquerade, and they
yeah.
asked Diane Paulus, like, what was it like? She's like, it broke my brain.
Yeah, she said it broke my brain. It's a Swiss watch. That's what she
Yeah,
said. It is a technical feat. It like
yeah,
shouldn't work,
yeah,
but it does. And
yeah.
it's insane that I mean, when you see it, you're in your group of 60 people
Hmm.
and you don't even realize that there's five other groups in there as well.
Yeah.
And you
And
never
you
see
also,
them.
and you're divided into different rooms as one group as
Yeah,
well, which is wild. Again, not to spoil anything for anyone,
not just
but
well.
yeah, because there was like one room I was in where like something was happening, and I was like, not everybody's here. And then you're in a
Yeah,
different room, and then you're just like alone with one of the main characters when they're in a bed, and you're like, this isn't everybody. So like, it's
it's
wild.
wild. And
Yeah.
I still don't know. For the longest time, I thought there was an extra room where the finale is. I didn't realize it was a room that's already been used and is
Yeah.
redone. I
Mhm.
thought it was a totally different room for
Yeah.
like 2 months. I just didn't know. You just
Yeah.
don't know. And
Mhm.
I still there's still things I don't know. And everybody's track is different. So there's certain people running up and down this building
Mhm.
and still missing the audience, like having to wait and see.
Yeah.
It is a Broadway haunted house in the best way possible. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
I can, and also just like shout out to the people who help the people who need assistance.
Oh, the
Because
butlers are
yeah,
incredible.
yeah.
It's funny that they call it the ADA track.
Hmm.
It deserves to win all the awards for
Yeah.
accessibility. It's like revolutionized the way that an immersive show can be done in an
Yeah.
accessible way. And we've had people who have been um hearing impaired, vision impaired, anytime wheelchairs, anybody can come and see this show, which is
Yeah.
just the most beautiful thing. I had a woman funny enough, I went back to New York to see Monte Cristo, and I was Count of Monte Cristo, which was so cool.
Oh yeah, no,
And
I saw it. I saw it.
you
That's
thought
how I was like able to get Norm Lewis on my
Norm
podcast. I was
Lewis,
like, come on.
Norm,
And he's like, I'll do it.
gosh,
I was like, don't tease me. Don't worry about it. Back to you.
oh
Anyway, Monte Cristo.
God, God, love you, Norm Lewis. But there was a woman who I was sitting next to who, I heard her talking, and she was like, I like she's recovering from a really serious illness, and she was like, I really want to see Masquerade. She's like, but I don't know, like I can't walk in the same way that I used to right now, and like I'm kind of weak, but I want to see Hugh Pinero as the Phantom, and so I was just like, I turned to her and I said, I'm actually in the show. Like, there's this incredible track. It's called the ADA track, but it honestly should be called the VIP track because you get, you have your own person who ushers you through the show. You can be in a wheelchair; it's no big deal. You get the most incredible seats. You
Mhm.
get to go on the elevator, and it's still you get the same exact experience as everybody else, just
Mhm.
in a really accessible
Different
way
way.
for
Yeah.
anybody. It's awesome. So
Yeah.
cool. So beautiful. And I love those tracks too because where I am as Andre, often they are in the places where I get to go and mingle, and so I get to talk
Mhm.
to them. So it's really
Yeah.
fun to get to meet those people.
Yeah. I also just like to say it's very, for those seeing Masquerade, it's very helpful when you know people in the show because they will come up to you.
It's so funny. I've
And
never had a show like this where like, you can nor in a normal show you see your friends in the audience or whatever.
Mhm.
This, honey, your friends are not safe. No, I
No.
can go right up to them and start talking to them and give them champagne
Oh yeah.
and dance with them. It's so much fun and it's so cool to see. That's the best part is to see you're and watching in real time, watching them experience the show in with every sense, every fiber of their being. It's so freaking cool. That's what
Yeah.
brings me the most joy.
I want to go back with a phantom who has hair. because my sisters did not. And I don't mean that in a bad way because not to spoil anything, but I am very curious to see like what the makeup look is like
It's so
with
cool.
someone who has hair.
The
Um,
prosthetic is so
yeah.
cool.
So
And with hair, and you can't, it's
mhm,
so cool how they do it, and
yeah.
it looks so good. So yeah, and it needs to look good because again,
You're up
this isn't
close.
like you're
Yeah.
right up close. You're watching the sweat, the snot, the spit,
Hmm.
the tears. Like, yeah, and you can see like if it was a bad, like, I don't know, if it was a bad prosthetic, you would be like, oh, this is kind of awkward. But like, no, it's really incredible what they do. The hair and makeup team, again, they deserve all the awards. Give them all the awards.
Tell me yours.
Give 'em all the awards.
Do you have any top going theater experiences?
Top going theater experience. I'm more of a bottom going theater experience. No, just
That's
kidding.
fair. So on the next episode of the Theater
Ah!
Enthusiast podcast, um,
We're talking feet. We're talking bottom going.
we're
You know what I
talking
just
gray
saw?
hair and chests.
Great. We need
Yeah.
to. Um, I know this is kind of a bias, but I just saw a mincemeet with Brandon and my best friend, like two of my best friends in the entire world, Lexi Rabati. They were both on,
Wow.
and it's just like the fact that like to have two of your best friends in your friend group both be in a Broadway show, both playing off of each other in a
Yeah.
5-person show where everybody is on stage the whole time. It like is I said they ruined it for us because it's like that they're the definition of like your parents being like, yeah, you go, why don't you just ask your friend to be in that show? If you want
Mhm.
to be, just ask them. Ask them
Yeah.
if they can be in Wicked with you. You know what I mean? And you're like,
Mhm.
okay. I was like, they literally broke it for us because now they're both in that show and watching them be so goofy together
Mhm.
and and just like do all these isms that I was like, you don't even understand. Those dumbasses on that stage right now. I've watched them do that stupid shit for 10 years now. So that just it broke me in all of the best ways. And it was just so freaking cool to see them on that stage together. So go see Operation Mincemeat. And it's just a great show.
It
I
really
love it.
is.
Love
So
it.
I love how I almost forgot to mention this as there is a neon light sign behind you.
Oh yeah.
Um, I would be remiss if I didn't ask about the Homo Sapien experience and how did that start? And um, let's talk about it. I loved your Fourth of July video. I loved
Oh, thank
Brandon.
you.
I'm going to the cottage.
We love you, Heated Rivalry.
Yeah,
Can we be in season 2?
yeah. Towards
Um,
the veil.
yeah, the Home Sleeping Experience we say is a queer sketch comedy platform that lives on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Now we're back on Facebook.
Oh,
I know. Moms, tell your aunts, tell your moms. With over 1.4 million followers throughout the country and the world, and
no big
it's
deal. Also, like an award-winning thing.
honey, we got a
Tony,
Telly.
you
We
got
had a
to
Telly
tell
Award winning.
NBD.
No big deal. Where's the Telly? Oh, I don't have it here. That's all right. We don't. I don't need to be that. But
It's okay.
it's
The
it's
people
something
can
that
Google what it looks like.
what a Telly looks like. It's something that I think I'm the most proud of just like of my creative career of just like it's something that started from literally nothing now 8 years ago, and I just had this idea that I've again like it literally ties back to like I used to make videos and plays in my basement with my cousins. And I think I got to a point in my career where I was, so much of our being an artist is yeah, you don't have power in anything or you don't have agency. You're just auditioning and waiting to hear things. And sometimes that can be so stressful and kind of scary. And then it can get a lot like, what am I
Hmm.
doing?
Yeah.
So for a while I had that stewing in my head of being like, I want to make funny shit. I want to make funny videos. And so while I was out doing Oklahoma at stages of St. Louis, I was just like, because what better to start creating videos is like when you're on a regional contract, you literally just have actors that are just once the show opens that are just at your beck and call. So and Brennan and I had always we had like tried and like been like we're gonna make stuff, but at that time he was away a lot, and I remember famously being like, I want to make like what if we had like a channel called like the Homo Sapien Experience, where we say we like make funny videos about the human experience with an emphasis on the homo part of it. And he was like, "No, I hate that name. That name's not gonna work."
That's actually a really good impression of Brandon.
He was like, "No, yeah,
Yeah.
no, that I don't like that name." And so I was like, "Fine, fine, bitch. challenge accepted. So for the first year, he was away on regional gigs, but I kind of like built this channel up. So I did like two different contracts there at
Mhm.
Stages of St. Louis, and then I did worked at the Rev doing South Pacific. So we just had a lot of time on our hands. And I made
Yeah.
like 6 or 7 videos and then got back and started just making and creating. And then once we got back, we kind of like just started this crazy journey. And it's been like just really cool to watch it grow and like watch people from just different walks of life really connect with our videos. And we're just trying to make people laugh and feel
Mhm.
love and seen and just also
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Yeah, just um have a space to create and to bring joy to this crazy world
Yeah.
with forest fires outside right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I will say though, a while back when Brandon was doing Titanic, like I spoke to them for so long about like giving them clothing that I had because I lost a ton of weight. And
Yeah.
one of the dresses that I had gifted to Brandon, you wore in one of the videos.
Oh my God, do you remember which one?
It's like a purpley gray shimmery like short dress with the belt
Oh,
and it's kind of like a oomph sleeve, if that
oh
makes
yeah,
sense.
I think I have it here. I think I
Yeah,
have it. Like,
you're
see this.
welcome.
Thank you. This
Mm-hmm.
is my. Let me see if I can show. This is like now my. I moved into a new apartment with my boyfriend, and so
Yeah.
we have a bedroom that is like for Homo sapien kind of, but like this is like my dream. It's kind of a little messy, but like my closet
Homo sapien stuff.
just of just a bunch of Homo sapien shit. It's Party City on crack.
I
So
love
in there is a puppet too. Just like and trying to organize it was hilarious. I'd be like, I have a hand, like a literal hand, water guns, boas, bandanas, dog chain. I think that all is one category. Yeah, they'll put that in
that.
a drawer. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So,
yeah, absolutely.
oh my God. And also wait, I want to show you my newest find.
Okay.
I don't know what we're gonna use it for, but this is just like, just in this room. This will just be like
Can I? Okay.
listeners, describe what you're seeing here.
It's gay Moses. You're parting the sea in that.
I'm gonna part something. The sea, cheeks, whatever.
Yeah,
Literally.
honestly, couples therapy, gay Moses, or like a gayer version of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Absolutely. Can I
Yeah.
can I throw Brandon under the bus? I really wanted to do one couples therapy about the prodigal son. And he's like, "What's the prodigal son?" I was like, "It's the prodigal son." Like you gotta know. So I'm hoping we'll get to do that one.
Yeah.
Listeners, once I tell Brandon the whole story about the prodigal son, so he knows
If
what it's
not,
all
just like find another person to do it. I'm
about.
totes
He'll kill
avail
me.
to do a video anytime
Oh
you
my
want.
God, you
I
and
keep
Andrew
saying,
Scott.
oh my God, imagine.
Oh
I think I'm more totes avail than Andrew Scott is though, but that's fine.
you're both busy. You're going out. Aren't you going to?
Yeah.
You're going
No,
out
but
soon. The
just
Hamptons.
honestly, I'm just worried. It's only 3 days. Everybody's acting like I'm moving out there. Okay. So, do you have any dream roles or projects that you would want to do?
I think
Aside,
something that I really. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, you
no,
tell
I was going to
me.
say, aside from like me forcing you to go on the tour of Ragtime, like what?
Let me go. I think what excites me right now is we really want to like uh, write for TV and film and like
Mhm.
be in some stuff. You know what I mean? I think like the reason that we kind of started this whole Homo sapien is like inspired by like people like, you know, the Broad City Girls, Abby and
Mhm.
Alana, like Issa Rae,
Mhm.
Key and Peele, just these people that really, I don't know, created their own stuff and like made something out of it. So it really excites us the idea of like how do we get to that next level? Like how do we start like what
Yeah.
if we had a TV show? What if we,
Yeah.
where come on, New York City, we need some more comedies based in New York. We got
Yeah.
adults, which they film in Canada, I think. So we don't have any New
Yeah.
York City
I
based
mean, all you
comedies.
have is like Law and Order.
We got crime shows up the wazoo, honey. That's
Yeah,
it. That's all we got. So
exactly.
it would be really, really cool. And the Gilded Age, the Gilded
Yeah,
Age.
it's the
Love
Gilded
you.
Age. Lest us
The
forget.
Gilded Age.
Yes.
Yes, but we'd love a comedy. Like it would be so cool to do something like that. And that would be really fun. And then I'd love to like, honestly, I really like the creating of roles. So it would be cool to do something new again. Like if I could do like a new exciting role and just be able to bring myself. And also I think that like it was really fun again with This Is Not a Drill, like just being a writer and being like, oh, could I try could I try this? Like, could I say this? Like, what about this? You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
was cool to like kind of fire on all cylinders in that way, and that's what really excites me as the future comes.
So as we come to a close, it's time for Actor Studio questions.
Oh my God, okay. Is it rapid fire or just regular
Well, we can make it rapid. What is your
fire?
favorite word?
Hmm. Cellar door. No, just kidding. Donnie Darko fans right there. Um, I I love grace. I love the word grace.
What is your least favorite word?
Flesh.
What
And moist flesh.
moist flesh? Perfect. What turns you on?
In what way?
Well, it says creatively, spiritually, or emotionally, but whatever
A
you
finger
want
in the
to
butt
say.
will do it pretty much all ways.
Please call in to the Theater Enthusiast Podcast and add to that. Also send a DM, and
Send a DM,
we'll include it.
metaphorical or literal finger in the butt, you
Yeah,
know?
we'll include that in our foot fetish episode. Uh,
But for real, also for creatively, I do love like watching people create work. So I love like watching like web series that people
mhm,
created from like nothing or like shorts or things like that that I'm like, "Oh, look at what they made with kind of like what they had." And it that always inspires me so much. And like seeing my friends shows that like
mhm.
do their work, I just that gets me going. That gets me real hot and bothered
All
too.
right,
The
ready?
finger in the butt is quicker.
Yeah. What turns you off?
Oh, bullies, mean girls. I'm not good with that. I'm a golden retriever at heart. And I think being a little gay kid growing up, that the bullying stuff, I just didn't, that always is just, yeah, I hate that. I hate that.
What is your favorite curse word?
I don't want to be basic and say fuck, but fuck
Oh,
is so
please be
fucking
basic. That's my
fun.
favorite.
Yeah,
What sounder?
motherfucker.
Oh, please go.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Keep fucking going on. What the fuck?
Oh, fucking, what the fuck? Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah,
right, now we gotta fucking move on. Uh,
yeah.
what sound or noise do you love?
I promise these all won't be sexual, so I'm gonna try and move.
Listen, they can be if you want. It's your
I
episode.
love the sound of birds, the birds. Honestly though, I just was upstate and taking my dad has a new puppy, a new golden retriever puppy, and we were walking in the woods, and that is my favorite. Like that and nighttime peepers, like that's what I grew up on, like just the sounds of the woods and and going to bed at night and like hearing the nighttime peepers and the little train, like a train horn in the distance. That's yeah, I love that. I love that. It makes me feel
What
home.
sound? Ooh. What sound or noise do you hate?
Basically all of them in New York City. Hate that. It's funny because I do this a lot, but like mouth sounds, chewing loudly is not great. Snoring is bad, and I snore, so I hate myself.
Listen,
But,
I've woken myself up from snoring, so you're fine.
oh, I think I'm a year away from a CPAP. You know what I mean? I'm like, I am just getting ready, getting ready. If
Yeah,
you have any, just lend them to me.
I don't, but I'll let you know. What profession other than yours would you like to attempt?
Mm, A professional skydiver. Why not? Why not just
Yeah,
go
live
hard?
on the edge.
Live at the edge.
Yes. What profession would you not like to do?
Politician. Fuck that.
That's fair. Okay. And finally, if heaven
Oh,
exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
bitch, get on in here. You stupid bitch.
Yes.
You silly bitch, get on in here. You're
There you
dead.
go.
You're dead. Get on here. Reverend Marks, let's go.
That,
I love you,
I
my
love
queen.
I
I
love
love
you.
you. I love you. This was so wonderful. It's so good
Or
to get to talk to you. I
you
miss
too.
talking to you
I know.
when we talk every day.
You like work a block 2 blocks away from me. We should make an attempt to like actually get
I
together at some point.
I live at that theater, so
Yeah.
I am there 98 hours a day. So you could just come. Honestly, maybe we could chill on the rooftop too. We got a rooftop. That's right. Got a
Don't
rooftop.
tease me with a good time. Anything you'd like to add before I end this recording?
No, I love you all so much. Thanks for listening. You can find me on the Homo Sapien Experience on all those platforms, and I'm at Maddie Cake 89. Maddie Cake 89 on Instagram. Yes, I was born in 1989. I should change it, but you know what? I'm proud of it. And also, that is the most millennial thing you could do is put your birth year behind something like
You're fine.
that.
I'm not people I feel like already know my age, so I'm not gonna say it again. Ew.
Honey, oh, not with those roots, honey. She's giving 25. Give me
That's right.
25
I
best.
got them done today. Thank you. Anyway, thank you
Thank
all for
you.
listening. Go see Masquerade
Thank
if you
y'all.
can.
Send feet pics. Love you.
Bye.